What up, world? Welcome again to 3 Man Talk. I don't have a good catch line for us today. Been drinking too much Ice House, so I figured it out later, right? But anyway, it's 3 men talking about real topics in a real way. To my left, got Jay Rock, the owner of this fine establishment we in, the world headquarters of 3 Man Talk. Across from me, I got Jay Trade, entrepreneur extraordinaire, man's man, killing them out there.
Already.
And it's me, Raz, the other co-host. You know, just here. I've been drinking too much already. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about Charlottesville, of course, all the bullshit up there. We're going to talk about transgender people. We're going to talk about sitting down for the national anthem. And we're going to go from there. All right. What y'all want to go about first?
Charlottesville.
All right. Let's go ahead and tackle it. Is it a different way we can come at it? You know what I'm saying?
I tell you what, I got a take on it, and I'm pretty sure some people are not going to agree, but yeah, but we discussed this before about. I'm not saying the same thing. I'm just saying, look at the energy and look at the perception. The first thing I noticed when I didn't want to even watch the shit, but when I finally tapped into it, the first thing I noticed was armed protesters.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. Okay, armed protesters. Where are the armed police? That's pepper spraying them or, forcing them to relinquish their weapons. Didn't see that. I'm like, all right. I'm not gonna lie to myself. I know what that was, but then I started, I was like, well, let me give a benefit of the doubt. Let me tap into what they're saying, right? And the same anger I saw on their face, I remember seeing that same anger on the Black Lives Matter. Because if you look at it, most of the people that were protesting were really young people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you one time, we were talking about that. When young people are frustrated and don't know what to do, they're gonna go with whatever their emotions charge them up to do or whatever they're led to do. And a lot of that I saw, it was people leading other people to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
Where it should be a dialogue of what's the problem, then what could be the solution. Because if people really start focusing on that, they can realize that, we got the same problems.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at I forget who it was, but they were breaking down how the same unemployment rating system that we use today is not the same one we used in the 90s.
Mm.
He said, look at how many people are on public assistance now. He said it's record breaking. He said that should be one of the things they should be looking at, because that lets you know people fucked up, instead of just looking at unemployment rates. If they change the qualifications for that, anybody can make their ratings look good.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, unemployment dropped and I did a good job and blah blah blah. But what is really intertwined in those numbers, But again, back to I said it because when they speak about the Black Panthers, it's always you see the brothers holding rifles from a militant standpoint, but it's never, why did they become that to hold up weapons?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that not the point, the narrative that's being, thrown out there?
Right. Why
is it also not thrown out there that representatives from the Panthers met with the Asian community, the Hispanic community? I remember seeing something on TV in PBS. It was saying about they were meeting with the Caucasians, brothers and sisters in the Appalachian Mountains.
Mm.
And what it was basically saying we in the same struggle. Like that, I believe when they start doing stuff like that is when you really become a problem, because now you're bridging a gap between the people,
trying to unify everybody.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unification is bad for business.
Right, because if you unify everybody, then you can't be controlled.
Correct.
When you're divided, you can be controlled and conquered a lot more easily.
I can come to you, hey, this Jay guy, hey man, he's bad. I'm gonna help you out because he's starting some shit over here. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna leave you. Hey Jay, this Raz guy, hey man, he was saying some terrible shit about you. It's bad. I'm gonna help you out. So in the eyes of both of you, I'm the friend, but I'm benefiting from the both of you not communicating directly with each other. Mm-hmm. Same old game, still being played, still working to this day.
Yeah,
you know. So I'm yeah. On one end, it's just sad because if we're such a civilized, state of states, rather, we should be able to figure out solutions to the problem instead of allowing someone to agitate a few for their own personal gain. Because even with the president saying what he's saying, if they're not in his tax bracket, he don't fuck with them like that. Mm-mm. He just utilizing them to do the dumb shit he wants to, or doesn't care is done anyway. It doesn't matter to him. He's going to eat regardless. Mm-hmm. He's placing bets on the backs of those people.
What's happening right now is there's a ton of the controversy that's going on, and the big talk is basically, why are we cutting down or taking down history, monuments, and just basic history? So why is it okay to take down the Confederate flag and this
none of that shit matters.
This history, in my eyes, I go, if you took it all down, you take it all down. If you put it all in one place at a museum, then you put it all in one place, but then you take away from where the history took place, basically. So they're putting monuments in places, basically, where the history actually took place, the actual spots where it took place. The issue is, what was it meant for? You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, they have a Martin Luther King statue, and I was trolling through Facebook and some Twitters, and you got people posting a meme saying, well, if you could take this down, why don't we cut down the Martin Luther King statue? And the comments on there, obviously, like, come on now, really? Mm-hmm. You can't compare apples to oranges. You can't compare what this man did to what Martin Luther King did. And they're like, oh, well, Martin Luther King didn't believe in gay marriage. Okay. But he ain't kill nobody. He didn't kill just any random person because of their beliefs, mm-hmm. or because of their religion, or because of anything. He didn't kill anybody.
Color, maybe.
He protested and he fought for rights for everyone, rather than, I'm gonna burn you and kill you and all this other craziness. But at the end of the day, you look at what's being said, is like, just the whole big thing about it is, why in the hell is everybody making such a big deal about it? Like, most of the people don't even really give a shit. Most of the shit that you see is like you said, younger crowd going out there to protest, and yeah, they brought guns with them. Yeah. But then, if you go ahead and you, in my eyes, if you take a gun to a protest, and supposedly a peaceful protest, then you use that, you brought it to protect yourself, but ultimately it was, what was it called? It starts with a P. You know what I'm talking about. It was you already thought that you were going to do it.
Premeditated.
It was premeditated. There you go. Yeah. So you premeditated that you were going to use your weapon
10 points for J Trade.
There you go.
Ding.
Yeah, so
I edit that in.
yeah, so you already knew for a fact that you were going out here to do this. Now, let alone, I don't believe anybody used their weapons out there, but you brought it, and you
Correct.
brought it loaded. It wasn't there for show. It was there for protection, and all the
And
fucking
show.
fights
And show, yeah.
that we got it.
Yeah.
But all the fights that broke out, all the pepper spray that was blasted out into the crowds.
Where was the police?
Right.
And they was
Right.
in riot
Late.
gear,
Yeah.
just sitting there, fucking not doing nothing. But yet,
Your young brother got beat up in front of the precinct.
it
You know what I'm saying? So
was a ton of people that got fucked up in front of police,
my thing
and they
is,
didn't do shit.
no matter what they take down, no matter, I don't really care about that shit, because it's not like when slavery, when it was so-called abolished, not ended, it's not like that changed the heart of people. They were still the same racist individuals, but I think what's really, to me now, this is my opinion, wanting to change all these monuments and stuff, right? What people should really be thinking about is the fact that indulge yourself in the fact that when these monuments went up, they knew what they were. They knew who they were. It's not like Abraham Lincoln loved people of color.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't, you gotta read up on that, people. Like, look more in depth instead of the chants and the rhetoric that's given, because the ideology of the time, that's what we're not examining either. You gotta look at the ideology of the time. Like, even with Martin Luther King, yes, he did a lot of things, but it wasn't just him. Like, they can say that about, like, honestly, in my opinion, even though Mark might not have said nothing about gays per se, he had to feel a certain kind of way, because allegedly his ghostwriter was gay. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean nothing either. It's like, it's not like it's gonna rub off on a person and change his heart. You know, it's like, my main problem with what's going on, and it's been going on, is that the public allows themselves to be utilized as pawns in a bigger scheme of a bigger game. Like, no one wants to research nothing. Watching TV and hearing someone else tell you what statistics are and all this kind of shit, that's not research, because you don't
Right.
know what numbers they're basing their research on.
Yeah. Every stat you ever read is a lie.
It's just
You know what I'm
it's just
saying?
going along with whatever I want it to go along
Right,
with.
right. Somebody can look at the same study and say two
Yeah.
different things about the stats. That's true. I agree. Yeah.
It's whoever's funding that.
Right,
It's going to say what they want them to say.
right.
You know? Again, people have to read up on their history to understand that in order to, like, really make significant change, you got to engage in those that you really believe are your problem, because you're going to realize they're not your problem.
Right.
They're being told to you they're your problem. When you engage somebody and say, hey, this is my problem, this is what I was told, help me understand. And I'm not saying that one person you talk to is the one to give you the answers. But when you start talking to different people and you start hearing the same shit, you know, it's like, yo, somebody's not telling the truth here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually the person with the biggest bag of gold.
That's real. And so let me ask y'all this then: and it's just a different way to look at it. So is Donald Trump wrong in what he said? Because there was aggression on both sides.
How's the aggression on both sides?
The videos I saw,
Yeah.
like the people who were anti-nationalists,
Yeah.
were also like pushing back and spitting on and yelling at,
But you
Pushing
answered-
and doing
back.
shit.
You said it. You said
Pushing back.
it. Pushing back.
pushing back,
Pushing back.
pushing at. I don't know.
Pushing back.
Pushing
I don't
back.
know. I'm just saying. I'm just
A
being devil's
reaction
advocate.
A reaction is one thing. Like, case in point.
Right.
Reaction.
Yeah, because a lot, like, even with like, for instance, I'm gonna use this example. Like, the kids we see, so-called, not so-called, they doing dumb shit, but the kids that's doing some stuff that they shouldn't be doing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, that's a reaction. It's a reaction to when people say, we're going to balance a budget. We're going to cut this program. We're going to do this, and stuff like that. When you see these kids out where, it's, come on, like, I know when I was coming up, we had budgets in place for programs.
Mm-hmm. After school programs and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like you have to like keep a child focused on something, because you don't want him to figure it out for himself, because he's going to go along with whatever feels decent. Of course there's suckers out here misleading our children because they're misled themselves.
Right.
So it's like, again, me myself is that I feel.
So you feel like a kid who's getting into trouble is doing that out of reaction, and not just necessarily being
a reaction, because
a
child,
bad kid.
in my opinion, a child doesn't come to the world hating. A child doesn't come to the world naturally, gravitating to the stupid shit. It's like because they see it. Mm-hmm. It's like parents do dumb shit. Like parents automatically think their child does not pick up on certain things, and their child watches them more than they listen to them.
But does that make it not wrong? You know what I mean? Like the reactionary stuff and like pushing back. Does that still make it not?
You gotta defend yourself.
Wrong. You gotta defend yourself. I get that.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yourself.
Right, but I'm talking. So
the same thing. It's the same thing as saying this. It's like saying black guys see what's going on. Are we gonna sit back and get pulled over and get shot in our car with no video recording now, or are you gonna pull out your phone and hope that somebody else is pulling out their phone nowadays because of the shit that happened before? Because at the end of the day, more and more cops are becoming the I'm quick to grab my gun. I know cops right now. I know people in the position of being a police officer and sheriff who hadn't even drew a weapon in over 20 years. And you got all these 5 years on the force, 3 years on the force, and now you got even older guys on the force who ain't never drew a weapon, but now because it's getting popular to do so, they just draw on their weapon. So the reaction is, at least the bare minimum that I could do is pull out my phone and have it recorded, so that in case something does go down, y'all see it wasn't me.
Yeah. Yes,
some of the time you see that shit where we are pushing back, people are actually pushing back and talking shit to the officer like, what did I do? Before, and really when I say before, like when I first started driving at 16 and had my license and everything, it was get out of the fucking car, and your ass just got out of the car. Like,
see, but that
nowadays is like, get out of the car. What the fuck did I do? You don't have no rights.
That's a
fuck
culture.
you.
That's a cultural difference too, though. That's like, and this could be me, but like you just said, it's going on more, right? It's not. I don't believe. It's just me. Some of this shit is not by chance. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people who are in law enforcement should have never even been green lighted to even be on the force. Like, you can see pussy in their heart. You can see the fact that you may have been bullied when you was in high school, and now you got a bone, you got an axe to grind. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of this shit is not, to me. I don't. Man, there's too much money involved in this country. There's too much money being exchanging hands on a daily basis for people to just let certain things go. That's why you got so many think tanks. So many scenarios are being evaluated. These things are being put together.
I get what you're saying, and the funny thing is about that is that I remember I was telling you I wanted to be a police officer for years. I tried everything to get in every police department, and I kept getting told you don't have enough life experience. Most of them was telling me no life experience meant you wasn't in the military beforehand. So no life experience, but yet I don't have no criminal record neither. And my credit was actually really good. So, and I passed all your tests. So I had a buddy of mine who's actually still with the LAPD, and we went in and took the test together. I scored higher on the test than he did. We went to go take the physical. I finished my physical in a faster time than he did and scored more points. We took the polygraph test and everything. I got a call saying, we're going to put you on the waiting list because we don't have any academies available. He got a call saying, you're in the next academy, which starts in 2 weeks. Now, the difference was he was Hispanic, actually. But it was almost as if he was born at the age of 20. Like, when I say his record was like, you didn't even know the dude was on Earth because he had just got his license. He hadn't even been driving for more than a year before they put him on.
So he could have been more open to programming.
Well, that's the thing. If you'd met him when he first started driving, his driving record obviously was squeaky clean. But when the dude was driving 35 miles per hour, when it said 35, so yeah. And when he got on a year later, I couldn't even recognize him. When I say I couldn't recognize him, he was talking shit. When I say like, you get it. Like you see a guy that hardly ever even cuss and don't do nothing, don't speed, don't do anything. I seen this guy doing a fucking police chase, got out, throwing people on the ground, talking shit, kicking in the door. I'm like, God damn, who are you?
He's one of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
so the question, like, is Trump wrong? Like, because personally, I just think he's an idiot.
He's wrong.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think he's an idiot because he's just not presidential. But I don't know. Like, there was aggression on both sides.
Yes, he's wrong. Yes, he's wrong.
He shouldn't have said it like that.
He's the president. He
shouldn't have said it like that.
Even if he doesn't really run everything,
yeah,
he is the figurehead of what we believe to run everything.
That's all I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, he's not. Listen,
right. The words he said were not wrong, but he shouldn't have said those words because he's the president.
Words he said were wrong also.
Think so? I don't know, man. Like I said, it was a lot of shit on both sides. Now, nobody on the other side killed anybody. Nobody on the other side had guns, but they were aggressive. That's all I'm saying.
So 1 out of 3.
So if you were there, so wait.
1 out of 3.
If you were there,
you're equal.
So if you were there and you got shoved,
yeah, I'm gonna shove back.
Exactly.
Tell me another thing too.
But you don't think some of them shoved first?
I don't know.
Or spit first?
Maybe.
Listen.
Well, who started it?
Who came with the rifles?
Nobody knows.
Who came with the shields? Who came with the bats?
Yeah.
And the poles. Is it supposed to be that peaceful?
The fucking fire.
Who come? Nah, I can't call it tiki lamps.
I'm putting it this way.
Honestly, this protest to me of hate looked like the J. Crew of the Klan to me. They were very well dressed. Hey man, I dug the fits. You know, I was like, yo, maybe I need to start wearing a white polo.
White tee gang.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, if a motherfucker walks down the street,
threw this shit in long white tees. Oh man, it was terrible. I hated the era. I fucking hated long. I'm short. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
I couldn't even find one to fit. I was walking around tripping and shit.
That was a dress.
I know, right? Oh.
No, but I'm saying if a motherfucker walk down the street with a gas mask on,
yeah,
you're gonna be fucking nervous. You're gonna be like, "Whoa, what the fuck's about to happen?"
Yeah,
like
a little bit. Well, if it's one dude, I won't. I'll be like, this motherfucker's crazy.
All right, but if it's multiple, you know something about to happen.
Yeah,
you know, motherfuckers got that. They got gas. They got pepper spray. They got something that you may be like, oh shit, maybe I need a goddamn gas mask, or maybe I need to protect my fucking self. You see people with gas masks and guns and chanting. You like, this shit ain't no peaceful. This ain't no peaceful protest.
Right.
It didn't start out.
Peaceful.
It didn't start it in the mindset of what they were already protesting, what they were saying out loud, walking and marching, having weapons and having the numbers. It didn't start out to be peaceful in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't, because I'm be honest with you, at a peaceful protest, motherfuckers ain't bringing guns First of all, I mean, you may have some people that bring them, but they're more than likely going to be concealed. It ain't AR-15s walking around.
AR-15s and they had on bulletproof vests.
Yeah, it ain't shit going on.
Like,
that shit is not protest. That's not peaceful. That shit is like, I'm legitimately waiting for somebody to start. I'm waiting for the other side to start shooting, so that we could just let loose,
and we could be the victim.
Yeah. That's what it was. We're out here to pretend like we're the victims, but you're really not.
With all honesty, like I'm not tripping about them protesting and why they were protesting, because who am I to tell somebody what part of their heritage they shouldn't hold on to? I don't care about that. Like I said, I got buddies who I know good and damn well. Like the homie I went and saw today, and this is my man. United States flag, Confederate flag in the yard. But I know his heart.
Right.
I know his heart. Like, I know where he's from. I know his mama. You know what I'm saying? He know my mama. Yo, again, I can't knock nobody for their beliefs. I can knock you for your actions.
Yeah. I agree with that. And that's kind of the difference between, like, black people in the South and black people everywhere else in the country. Is like, we don't trip over the rebel flag as much because
we grew up with it.
We grew up with it. It's not a big deal. Like, we love the South too. You know what I'm saying?
But again, that's like, to me, if we look at like the problems,
any comments?
Like, that's not the problem. Like, that to me, that's not the problem. I don't care about that. I care about if you disrespect me. That's what I care about. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're respectful, bro, I'm not tripping. Yo, listen, I know for a fact we've done business with card members, but they don't argue the pay. They don't argue the rate. They pay before time. I'm not tripping.
Right.
They've never brought nothing to my table. I can't knock a person for the ideology they subscribe to. I can knock you when that shit start affecting my family. Now I can go with that. Like, if somebody's saying like, yo, I just want to be able to preserve my family, stuff like that, I'm not knocking that, because we really should all be understanding that. A lot of people understand that, but they're not voicing their opinion. Like, I don't care about the outspoken rhetoric. I'm more concerned about the silent support. The ones that blend and agree with you in face, but behind your back is on. I forgot, it's a term they used out in Cali when there was a brother running for office, and everybody was on, supporting him. But when they went in that damn toll booth, nah. It's a term. It happened with that election out in Cali. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure somebody in Periscope world or YouTube world will know what I'm talking about. But again, I don't deal with. Listen, man. We all brothers, and we ain't gonna always agree, but we can always respect each other. That's my only concern. I don't care about other stuff. A lot of that shit is just some of those young people just voicing their frustration. Like, they were too well dressed to really be down to go getting some real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can see the outpour when they got called out on public on social media.
I saw that shit. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're very regretful now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I saw one dude get chased, and he was wearing the full mask and the whole white, and then took that shit straight off when he got chased.
Punk ass running.
No. I was doing this because it was fun.
All that shit is cool online.
Right.
He's not.
You get in public, it ain't cool no more.
Right. Yeah. When you're a keyboard Klansman, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Or
you take that. You know what I'm saying? Now you gotta deal with one like, whoa.
Right. It was the one dude was like, I'm carrying the torch and saying the words, but I'm not racist. What? I'm doing it. The chants are cool.
That's the shit I'm talking about. That's he subscribes. He subscribes to the what they call them, the commander in tweet. Cause he'll say some outlandish shit. Like, to me, at one point it was funny. Then it was like, damn, he's pretty good. But then it's like, wow, he's really flipping it. It's genius. I'm just saying, I just gotta look at it from the fact of, damn, he's pretty good. He's an asshole, but he's pretty good with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never heard of fake news.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've never heard of alternative facts. Like, I want to use that. Like, I want to be able to use.
Right.
Hey, baby, you didn't catch me cheating. Who told you? That's just fake news.
Yeah.
She's a liberal, isn't she?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
You
Fucking
know what I'm saying?
Sharkeisha is spreading fake news.
Right. What's up? She
shit
voted
real
for
again.
Hillary, didn't she?
Yeah. Real shit. Okay. All right. You got, well, before we go to the next topic, because it's fucking whole other side of the world, transgender people.
Whoa.
What should.
Somebody just told me some crazy just told me before I got here.
Okay.
You know the little dancing.
Don't say it yet.
Okay, my bad. All
Do
right.
the ads and we'll come back to it after.
Right.
After
my
I
bad,
ask.
my bad. Okay. Now it's time for our sponsors. We'd love to give a big shout out to those at iRepair in Richmond Hill, Wireless Plus of Hinesville, Savannah's Business Showcase at WRUU Radio Show, So Express in Hinesville, House of LA Fashion, and All Hands Detail Shop in Hinesville. We would like to thank them for their contribution to our one shot of Fireball, and to anybody else who wants to give to the podcast.
we had to share it.
Please donate whatever you possibly can to us. It could be an extra cord for a cell phone charger. We will love your support, and we appreciate you for chiming in and listening to us, voice our opinions. And please also give your opinion and also give your thoughts on future topics you would love to hear us discuss.
Right. And shout out to the people watching us on Periscope. I see a lot of hearts over here. If y'all guys and girls have comments, please type them shits in so we can communicate with you. Thank you for watching us. Type it in.
I'm looking at it right now, so y'all go ahead and shoot us a comment, say something to us, let us know what you really feel about it. You know, if you have any feedback, we'll talk about it live right here, right now.
Word.
If not, if you don't, we're going on to the next topic, which I think is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah. And then one more thing before we go. I'm gonna put a clip of the. If you haven't seen this shit, it's all over the internet. But the Vice did a documentary on the Charlottesville shit from the perspective of the anti what they call
Nationalists?
the nationalists, the white nationalists. Right. I'll put it right here somewhere so you can see it. Right, in the YouTube show. Also, I'll put like I'm gonna drop the original, the first draft of All Hands Detail Shop. Cause that shit is funny looking.
Asshole.
I would drop the first iteration. That's not what it's gonna look like in the original, but this shit is funny as hell.
He said that
So I'm putting it right over my man head over there.
He said that shit was Chinese though. He said, wait.
Shout out.
This shit is hilarious.
Shout out to my Asian community for support.
Look, he said, why that shit so happy?
Man, I'll get into that later.
Okay,
it's a reason.
Okay. Anyway, okay, I like it, but we'll get to it. All right, so next topic.
Break it down in the ones and twos. Stays on. Break it on right now, sabay.